Okay, peeps, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about the YieldMax AIYY ETF, which is based on C3.ai, launching soon, and could it have 100% yield? Let's get it. So the first thing I want to pull up for you guys is the actual X tweet or X post that was posted recently by YieldMax. You guys can see that it says that they have an AI option income strategy ETF launching soon, ticker symbol AIYY, which essentially is going to be doing the same thing that all of the other YieldMax ETFs do. It's just on a different stock in the market. So, one thing I do want you guys to know is that they actually did not say when they were going to come out with it. They just simply said that they were going to come out with it. So, with that being said, let's take a look at some of the details of C3AI. First thing I want to pull up here is the price history. As you guys can see, we topped out in basically December to February of 2021, which I find to be quite interesting because this was actually before the Fed even said that they were going to raise rates. They didn't say it until right around this time frame in November of 2021. But as you guys can see, the price has recovered somewhat from the bottom here. So you're talking a $10 price. It moved all the way up to almost $50. That's a 5x on your money. That's actually pretty good for stocks, believe it or not. To get a 5x on your money in stocks, you basically have to trade something that's very, very low cap. And when I say trade, I'm not talking about day trade. I'm talking about swing trades. So as you guys can see here on the MACD, we are about to have another golden cross on C3AI. Last time we saw that was basically back here. And you guys can see that the price absolutely ripped to the upside, and same thing back here. The price, once again, also ripped hard to the upside. So the next thing that we're going to take a look at, besides the price, is we're going to take a look at a few of the underlines of the YieldMax ETFs. So this is the first one. This is the C3AI. So we're on the options tab here. It talks about this is an in-the-money strategy implied volatility list. It looks like it's only showing it for calls. Oh, never mind. You get your puts here too. So as you guys can see, the volatility on these things is pretty wild. You're talking hundreds of percentage points here. It is pretty substantial. You can see they're based in California. They have 900 employees. They are a software application company. Here's all their details. They're based in California. We could basically read over all this, but essentially, the ticker symbol says it all, that they're basically, what they do is pretty much AI applications and deployments. So you get like a strong buy kind of hold narrative here. Basically, analysts are estimating somewhere between $14 to $42. Unless the Fed's cutting rates next month, we're in January. I don't really see $14 as being reasonable. I think it could easily go back up to $42. You guys can see that they have beat all their earnings, even though their revenue. They had revenue beats, even though their earnings were negative. But you got to understand, smaller companies like these, with the Fed's funds rate being higher, making stuff expensive to borrow, companies with smaller market caps like these are going to have a tougher time traversing those waters, so to speak. So you can see they have a $3.4 billion market cap. Again, if we take a look at the beta, you can see that the beta here is 1.53, so it's about 0.5% more volatile than the US stock market. So we'll take a look at something like Tesla. You guys can see Tesla has a 2.28 billion or a 2.28 beta, and the market cap is way, way bigger than C3AI. And Coinbase being another example, which is even more volatile than Tesla and C3AI, and they have a market cap of 26 billion. So they actually have a smaller market cap than Tesla, but they're more volatile because they're connected to crypto. So the other thing that I want to point out here about the beta is you guys can see that C3AI has only been around since December of 2020. So this 5-year beta that they're showing you on the monthly is actually not even accurate because there's not 5 years of history to this company. So This is the actual website here. You can see that they basically do enterprise AI, or basically AI for companies, more or less. We can pretty much take a look through some of the customers and things that they deliver for. So you have some manufacturing, financial services, government, utilities, oil and gas, chemicals, agriculture, or agribusiness. I'm not sure what that is. Defense and intelligence, and some other stuff. So you can kind of see they have some stuff, it looks like, going on with Shell, the United States Air Force. You have also Koch, they're a pretty big company. So this pretty much tells you what they do. They do, it looks like, a lot. It looks like they have specialized, custom-made AI applications for each of these sectors of the market. So they give you some different stuff that you can look at here, like basically what necessary software services in one integrated suite to rapidly develop, provision, and operate enterprise AI applications. So basically, pretty much they're telling you how they go about doing these things, who they're giving it to, and whether it has code, a lot of code, or no code. So if we now go down to see the customers, which is probably one of the most important things, because this is how companies create revenue, is by making sales to customers. That's how any company makes money, whether it's in the United States or any other country. So you can see they have a lot of big partners. Okay, one of them is Raytheon. That's a big company. They do pay a dividend, by the way. Cargill, Koch, Swift. That's obviously a big deal. That's the United States payment rail system. Duke Energy, that's another dividend growth stock right there. Let's see what else we got here. We got the U.S. Army. You have County of San Mateo. I'm assuming that's kind of in the area where they do business. Missile Defense Agency from the Department of Defense. Again, you have another Department of Defense here. I believe this is the actual branch of the United States government for Department of Defense. And then you also have looks like Shell Oil Company, so that's definitely a big partnership. The United States Air Force, that's a military contract. And Philips, so they have a lot of big customers, as you guys can see. And if you want to, you can go take a look on this website even further if you'd like. So that is the C3.ai website. Now, based on what we've seen throughout history, let's say hypothetically that they come out with, I don't know, let's say that they come out with the ETF sometime next week. Are we going to get a dividend next month for this thing? Probably not. Usually it takes, I believe, based on what we've seen, it takes roughly about 30 to 45 days for them to actually pay a dividend yield. So we may not see a dividend yield or dividend payout from this particular ETF, assuming they come out with it next week, until as early as January. So that's absolutely a possibility. Now, in terms of them paying 100% yield, is that possible? I would say it is possible, but we would need to see some more volatility being picked up in the market. We would need to see something like what we saw back here, where the price is just really swinging hard in one side or the other, whether bearish or bullish in either direction. If we saw something like back here in early 2021, either to the down or the upside, I would say the volatility probably justifies as high of a yield, if not a higher yield, than something like Coinbase. Reason I say that is because you guys can see that based on this drop alone, you're talking like a 64% move in just a matter of weeks. And then you have this massive one here in just 3 weeks. The stock moved up 110%. If we see some volatility like that, I think it's definitely possible that we could see something very similar to Coney, if not more. So anyways, hope you all enjoyed this content. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you're bullish on the C3 AI YieldMax ETF, and we'll see y'all later. Peace.